Our next comic book is X-Men Battle of the Atom, Part 1, or Issue Number 1, or Chapter 1. And this is going to be a huge event that's happening in the X-Men universe. Also, make sure you stick to the end of the video because I will be giving away the digital code that comes with this issue, and I'll be giving you a question, and then you answer it, and you'll be entered to win the digital code. So now let's get on to the review. So the comic starts off with Ilyana Rasputin. She went into the future to essentially see what is happening because of all of the stuff that is happening in the past and how it's going to affect the future. She essentially wants to see if the future is worth fighting for. We see this huge battle with these kind of future X-Men, as we assume. But regardless, we go back to the present, where the team has just spotted a new mutant that's attacking in, I believe, some major city. I forgot what it was. But her ability is essentially to open up portals from different dimensions and bring creatures from that into our present. So she has like these awesome dragons, like 3-headed dragons, like Yu-Gi-Oh style. Like that was pretty cool. And of course the X-Men drop in and they start battling all these creatures. A really cool thing that happens is that Jean, she actually goes into the girl's mind and she figures out her entire backstory in one page. It kind of trails off into different memories she has, and we understand what's happening. And she projects those images to the rest of the team. I thought that was really cool. As our X-Men group is fighting off all these creatures, suddenly there's a large group of Sentinels that are pinpointing their location, and they join the fight with the creatures. Jean tries to get everyone out of there because one of the Sentinels is firing its laser at the one spot that they were targeted at. And you think that they're almost dead, but they make it out alive because of Kitty Pryde's, her directing, her leadership. Scott sees that there's civilians that are in distress, so he goes after, he does what Scott does. He tries to be the hero. He goes after him. It almost seems like he's down and out for the count, but of course they get saved by none other than the Uncanny X-Men. So Future Scott and his team, they come and they show up, and the next panel is just this 2-page awesome battle scene where they just wreck shit up, and it's pretty good. The battle seems to have been won. Unfortunately, there is a decapitated Sentinel head that blasts the younger version of Scott, and things aren't looking good. The team is frantically looking for Christopher Muse, who is actually a healer. They're trying to heal him, and they're noticing that Future Scott isn't there. Everyone's frantically trying to save younger Scott, and luckily they do. Christopher pulls him at the brink of his death. He almost died, and that's when Future Scott pops in and he asks what happened, and they essentially said, by younger Scott dying, that means Future Scott would just cease to exist. So he ceased to exist for like a split second. Like that was pretty crazy, and it was really well executed too. Back at the Jean Grey school, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, basically everyone from the future, talks to the original 5 X-Men, saying that they're going to send them back to their present, the past. And they're kind of arguing back and forth. The original 5 think that they need to stay here because they need to figure out, they feel like they're being doomed to a predetermined fate. But before anyone can, say anything, the huge time cube that we saw at the beginning of All New X-Men opens up, and that brings our new cast, which is the future X-Men, and that's where the comic ends. So I guess one of the biggest mysteries is, why does Beast look like a goat from Saga, and why does, I'm assuming, Iceman look like Clayface from the Batman animated series? So wow, we got a new group of X-Men that are from the even further future. So we have one from the past, one from the present, and one from the future. So I mean, in the Marvel universe right now, the time stream must be just completely fucked. It must be just, oh my god, I can't even imagine how fucked up it is now, especially with Age of Ultron and everything. So let's actually get right back to this comic. Battle of the Atom Part 1, was actually a really good start to this big X-Men event that's happening. I'm really excited. Next comic book I'm going to review is All New X-Men issue number 16, which is going to be part 2. So I'm really excited to see who these future X-Men are and how all the other X-Men are going to react to this. Just because the fact that they brought an even older or even younger versions of themselves back, and now we have these future versions, and they're going to talk it out and compare and contrast, and it's going to be pretty hilarious to see how it goes. Definitely some key points that I liked about this issue. Scott's momentary death was really executed well, and it definitely gets its point across that if any of the younger versions die at any point because they are inexperienced, the older versions of them are just going to just die. Like, that's it. There's no like, oh, that's it. But even if you think further, if Scott were to die, the comic almost gives you an idea of maybe Professor Xavier would be alive, and maybe all these different characters would be either dead or alive, or so many different things will be changed. And then, of course, we got to talk about the art. Really solid, some awesome fight scenes, and really good character designs. I really like the character designs for the future versions of the X-Men, especially Iceman, I'm presuming. And I believe that's Deadpool over there, yeah. It looks very much like Deadpool without his mask. And Beast has a fucking jetpack Gatling gun? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, give me more of that. I like that. That's pretty awesome. So if I were to give my score of out of 5, I'm going to give X-Men Battle of the Atom, Chapter 1, Part 1, Issue 1, if you will, a 4.5 out of 5. This is a really solid start to an event that I hope is really awesome, and it definitely seems like that. I have this little lithium card there. It's like it says, a crossover event 50 years in the making. So if you want to win yourself a digital copy of this issue, make sure to answer the question. And my question for you is, what's your first impressions of the future X-Men group from the last panel that we saw? What are your thoughts? Do they look cool? You know what I think of Beast and Iceman and everyone else in there. So let me know in the comments section below. And also make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.